Rawr.
When did we all get this dumb?
Almost only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and nuclear warfare. I don't see any bodies, so it doesn't count.
I'm angry about taxes.
I'm the chef. I want to hear one thing. Yes, chef.
Come on, man. Use your brain.
The Why I'm Angry podcast starts now.
Oops. All right. The Why I'm Angry podcast starts now. You know, I just love podcasting so much. This is about how I woke up this morning.
Hopped out of bed like, man, I'm feeling so blessed.
Yeah, so blessed. This is the chef. I'm here in the Freestyle Man Cave studio. I'm here with the whole crew almost. I got Honest Abe. I got the lovely Lady D. And whoever that guy in the left-hand corner is. Jay Boots. So guys, we're here. We're all here. We're alive. You know, some of us are kicking better than others. But we're here. So we haven't said a whole ton about what has been going on with Honest Abe, but we did say, you know, be praying for our guys on the air, our hosts. There has been some major issues and things like that have happened, some changes in life type deals. Not to like get real far into it, but Abram or Honest Abe has had a little accident, and you know, just some physical disabilities now. So
yeah, a little snafu, you know.
Snafu.
A little hitch in my get up. So
Right. So getting into it. I mean, not to, like I said, not to get into what you went through. So we're going to kind of we'll talk about that on maybe a special day or something like that, and you know, really get into it. But who is crunching?
My bad.
I'm gonna say. So, just getting into the headlines. There's been a lot of news, a lot of big things going on. The kind of the biggest one I've seen is I don't know if you guys have followed this, but the BRICS expansion. Do you guys know what that is?
No.
So there's a BRICS alliance. It is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Basically, they've joined an economic group, a bloc, kind of like the old, you know, axis of evil or something like that. When you add Russia, India, China, you know, you kind of start to think, uh-oh. But their alliance, basically, and they've invited Saudi Arabia, Iran, Ethiopia, Egypt, Argentina, and the United Arab Emirates. And basically, they are coming out with a new policy to not use the American dollar. So this is one of the things that I've kind of mentioned or kind of set up, that this is probably one of the most major news announcements and issues for the U.S. Militarily, economically, you know, as a country. This puts us on an unstable ground, really, because if you think about it, the American dollar, I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but it's not based on gold anymore or silver. And so, who has a fan running? Do you have I'm just getting full fan every time I talk now. I mean, anytime I'm not saying something, it's all fans. So I don't know who's running full fan, but you know, we're running fan on it. So
if you hear my ceiling fan, that's crazy.
No, it's not yours.
Okay.
But because it didn't kick on while you were talking, but It's just a bunch of fuzz. So it could be something else. Anyhow, so with this, basically, this is over 80% of the world's oil. And right now it's all traded in US dollars. Like the standard is the US dollar. And so with that being said, if we go away from our US dollar being traded in things like that, then we lose our market share. Your value is your currency's value is what it's being traded in. And so that's
So
why
what?
we've been the most powerful country, because everything's traded in the dollar.
I just want to know, what did our money ever do to anybody besides not be worth much?
Well, our money has been the largest pusher of freedom, of Christian values, of anti-communist regimes, and if you look at this, pretty much communist socialist regimes here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some big changes. Obviously, that's a big scare for our systems, and what we see in like the Wall Street and everything else is definitely going to affect a lot of that. And the more that other countries go away from it and decide to go a different route, or make the euro the major dollar, or whatever it may be, it's just going to hurt us more, and the value of our dollar is just going to continue to plummet because other countries aren't supporting it the same way.
Yeah, I mean it literally, I mean, like, this is kind of the beginning, but then I also have a story where there's now a school of authoritarianism. There's a report that the Chinese Communist Party's new leadership school in Tanzania that teaches African future leaders to an authoritarian model of governance as an alternative to the Western democracy. So this just pushes that narrative just a tiny bit more. That we're no longer the only ones out there trying to push a narrative. At one point, after the World War II or whatever, we were out there being the one big superpower, pushing everything, making all the decisions and all of that. And like you said, some big changes coming. Don't be surprised if you see it real soon showing up on our inflation. Because once your currency is no longer worth as much as it used to be, it's not worth as much as it used to be, and so
Well, it's already dropped drastically just in the last year and a half.
A ton.
To the point to where we're starting. It reminds me a little bit of like the Canadian dollar, and how it continued to plummet, and at its weakest point was worth what, 60 cents to our, or 60 some cents to our
Right.
dollar. And you look in regards to our dollar in comparison to like even the euro right now, and we're at that point where we're like what, 80% or 80 some cents to their dollar, I believe. So I think it's got to be pretty close to that. So
Right.
we've already seen
Yeah.
a big drop in the value of our dollar, on not just the home front as far as what we're paying for everything, but the more that alliances and different stuff like this happens, it's just going to make it even tougher because the U.S. being such a big powerhouse, they're going to have to make up the difference somehow, and well, not exactly finding other avenues to do that other than through taxes. So
Well,
taxing the dollar.
Well, I mean, you wanna see? I just saw in or one of our headlines is the federal revenue falls $416 billion from last year's at this time since the passage of the IRA, which is you know the Inflation Reduction Act. Since we're trying to reduce that inflation.
And the Build Back Better plan.
Well, yeah. Well, it changed from the Build Back Better plan because it changed from the Build Back Better plan because it was it was too expensive, and then they literally just changed it to the Inflation Reduction Act, and then basically sold it the same deal. I mean, there was no change really in the deal. It was just flipped and whatever. So, but then they're realizing that if you read the article, it tells you that the revenues from the IRA bill aren't going to be as much. They thought they were going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars because you were going to continue to spend at the rate that you were before all of this inflation. And because
nobody can afford to now.
Well, and because they put a 15% tax bill across the board on businesses. So now all businesses pay 15% no matter what. And so they're passing that buck on to us as consumers because they're not going to actually pay that. And then also on top of that, the 15%, then the businesses aren't making as much money because their products are more expensive. So now they don't pay as much taxes or as many taxes as they thought they were, or at the same rate. And so now they're I mean, I went to culinary school. This isn't that hard to figure out. I'm not some site like super genius or anything, right, guys?
Well, I think that's the big problem is it's not a hard thing to grasp. It's not a hard thing to pick up. But obviously we only, being the small guys in the fight, we can only do so much. And there's only so much that the individual can really do until we get a voice that can actually be heard on a larger platform.
Right.
Otherwise, I mean, yeah, we're stuck paying 40% of our income into taxes if you sit into a certain tax bracket, and then on top of that, the dollar that you just got to bring home after taxes, you get taxed again on anytime you go buy gas or anytime you go buy, any kind of product whatsoever in any kind of retail format,
Right. Yeah, I just, like you said, I mean, which brings me to the point. Like this week, have you guys been loving, Vivek Ramaswamy like everyone else has? I mean, that's what I've been hearing is that he's the greatest. He's gonna fix everything.
The what?
The what?
Just, Lady D, I mean, you at one point you've got to follow the election sometime.
Listen, life has been busy this week. I have not saw anything besides Mitch McConnell freeze on TV for the 16th time.
That is true. We do have to congratulate Lady D. She won basically the her company's Grammy Award. It's just like the
Period. No.
They put her on stage. They gave her an award. They had a dinner.
They did.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's getting up there. We're hoping to keep her in the studio, that she doesn't get too big for us. But yeah,
you never know.
So there's some congratulations in order there.
The record label's calling now.
That's right.
You're a music artist?
I wish.
At her job, she is one of the best.
Oh.
But yeah,
That's
so
pretty cool though.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It was quite a humbling experience.
Did you have to take out ads and run billboard ads and stuff?
Me?
No, it wasn't like the real Grammys.
No, it wasn't the real Grammys.
No, this is real life where did you really get a trophy?
Yeah, I actually do have a very expensive
cool.
plaque with my name on it.
All right.
Yes, I do. It's a glass.
But this is like real life where someone actually nominates you, and you get an actual you get money and paid.
You do.
Something for a bonus for it and everything. So this is prestigious.
Shout out to the direct deposit.
Not like the Grammys where you just put out an advertisement, you get them, you get it because you did something, to advertise for it. So it's not.
So yes, I'm sorry, I'm not up to date on the current events. So y'all gonna have to catch me.
All right. So we had a debate last week, but we even commented on it on the podcast. So, basically, from what they're telling me is, or what the news wants you to hear, is that DeSantis is out. Vivek Ramaswamy is now the new front runner behind Trump.
Who is that? Is this a real name?
Yeah, this is a real guy.
Yes.
He's 30.
How you spell that? I'm about to Google it.
It's Rama Swamy. So
his first name is Vivek.
It's Vivek. He got on an interview the other day and said everybody was not meanly. He just said that his name was actually Vivek, and everybody's been pronouncing it Vivek this whole time. Like even Hannity did an hour interview with him, and it was the same. He's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" He's like, "Oh, I just was being polite and everything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me that everyone mispronounces my name."
He's from Ohio.
Is he from Ohio? I didn't know he was from Ohio. I thought he was from Indiana or Illinois.
He's born in Cincinnati, Ohio.
He's from Pawnee, Indiana, is what I heard.
Well, according to Wikipedia, it said he was born on August the 9th in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah.
Isn't Wikipedia editable? And
yes, it is. Every time the Crew beats Cincinnati, we're always their daddy. So we're always the owner of the.
I will say I feel his pain on the whole name thing, and people are constantly pronouncing it wrong and having to correct them. And you get to points where you're just like, whatever.
He's been running for 7-8 months as Vivek, and everybody is like. Yeah, everybody has been just saying the same thing, and he's
not gonna make it.
So if the culture can change the usage and the definition of a word, then we can change his name to whatever we want.
That's true.
He's not gonna make it.
But if you're gonna be a front runner and you're gonna be somebody that's gonna be on a platform, you're gonna have to be pretty confident and be firm in your name. I mean, they better know your name.
You got to stand by everything.
I mean, Joe Biden doesn't even know his name, so
that's JoJo.
That's a whole other
J Boots, okay?
What's his name? Do you even know his name? I don't think you know.
He doesn't need to know his name.
That's what I was going to say.
Every day.
He doesn't need to know his name because he's sitting in a basement somewhere. He's not writing his name down on anything or buying anything. He doesn't need to know.
It's the new AI now. They just
right.
make it work.
He's the new Tupac hologram. he just does they even do his voice and everything. They just put him on the stage and as a hologram, and that's why all of his interviews are in the dark on Twitter now.
Yeah.
Or I mean X. I'm sorry, X. No,
Yeah.
no longer Twitter.
Yeah, which was really weird. I went to click on a post the other day. It really threw me off because I've been kind of out of it, and I went to click on a post the other day that like had a link to go to Twitter, and it was like X something, and I was like, whoa, what did I click on? Like I'm not quite sure. And then I was like, oh, okay. There's like a little thing at the bottom, at the bottom of that says, welcome to the new X or whatever, and all this. And I was like, well, this is different. All right.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, things are changing, I guess.
Times are changing. I'm not sure it's for the best,
like
but
yeah, we're getting a new COVID's coming.
Get out of my yard.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've definitely probably yelled at a couple people about my yard. Get off my lawn.
Lockdowns are coming back. That's exciting.
No, yeah, we have a neighbor that like kind of likes to cut down our shop driveway to not get into too big of a story, and pull in behind their house and stuff. Sometimes they park in the middle of the driveway, and I'm like, "Yo, I can't even get back to my shop. What are you doing?"
You're gonna block the one-legged
man. I feel
man,
like the old man when I'm like saying something about it, like, get off my driveway.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right. Yeah. I hate it when the neighbors park in front of my house.
Facts.
I mean, there's not like a major deal. There's not a real big problem with it. Like I've got 2 cars already parked in front of my house, so unless I'm having a party or unless people are coming over, it doesn't really matter all that much. But it just bothers me for some reason. It's like etiquette. It's like parking etiquette. You don't park in front of the person's house unless you absolutely have to, type deal.
That's true. That's the unspoken rule.
That's old school though.
I'm old. I'm older than.
I haven't lived in a neighborhood where it really
isn't. It's just that like I've had it a couple of times where the person parked and there's like they have all kinds of parking in front of their house. And there's I don't have any, like I have to go around them, which honestly, again, first world problems.
Minor inconvenience.
First world problems.
Major problem.
But it's just annoying. Right. Don't park in front of people's property. You don't live there. It is a little
annoying, but it's not, again, it's not like probably an issue, but.
It's not probably an issue, but.
Not probably an issue, but I'm like. I'm telling my wife, I'm ready to fight. I'm like, let's throw down. I'm gonna pick up their car and just like shove it over there or something.
We're calling the cops.
We're just like
parking on a public street.
You don't understand. My truck is not that nice. I just shove you out.
I don't even know how we got here.
Like I said, I have a chef's education. I'm not highly educated. I'll just run you over. So going on, like continuing on to this, did anyone see that, Trump's trial was scheduled? And does it look a little suspicious, a little sus, as the kids would say these days?
Absolutely not. Nope.
When they scheduled his trial?
Nope.
I wouldn't say that it's. I think it's completely normal to a specific narrative. It's completely expected.
They scheduled it 2 days before Super Tuesday.
I know.
Don't you love that? Who is it? I guess it's not the bailiff that schedules.
No, it's the judge and the court requires.
Why do you hate him? Why is there so much hate?
I didn't say there was any hate. I was just saying it seems a little sus. It also seems like a little interesting that the whole thing is going on about the same time as it happened in 2020.
Yep.
I mean, coincidences be what they are, but again, I'm not sure that I believe in coincidences.
The whole next 3 to 4 months kind of makes me nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
It's gonna be. I mean,
there's a lot that's gonna happen over the next 3 months or so that I think is really gonna change maybe not even 3 months, maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
There's a lot going down. So, anyone want to talk about that more? No?
I'm just excited for the new COVID.
Crickets?
His trial, you talking about?
I could take you outside.
I'm just saying, like any of that, trial.
He
the
innocent
fact that
until proven guilty in the court of law. So
they certainly haven't. They certainly haven't treated him that way.
No, they haven't. But
I love all the headlines too. Like he's been arrested and he turned himself in and this and that, and it's just
right.
Now hold on, Abe. I'm gonna tell you right now. That mug shot, they could have done better, okay? There's
was pretty
people
good.
in the hood that have been arrested before that look better than him. They did my boy wrong.
I think he made that mugshot on purpose. Like
he was looking rough.
He kind of looked like Honest Abe in his angry photo on the website.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he kind of gave him that.
He was kind of like, he kind of reminded me of like a 1930s, 1940s gangster, like like a mobster, like just the way you know what I mean. Like
what's funny
like,
about
take you back to like some Al Capone times or something, or like.
What's funny is I saw a meme with him and Martin Luther King, because they were both arrested and arraigned at this time this week in Fulton County, Georgia, the same week.
Yeah.
And so if you look at Martin Luther King's mugshot, it's so similar because he's like,
oh really?
Yeah, he's giving him a mean mug also. And so I was like, this guy. So,
well, what are you gonna do?
So talking about the great late Martin Luther King, so NASCAR decided it needed to diversify and get some diversity interns. But on the application, did you see this one, Destiny?
No, I'm just waiting to hear this story.
On the application, it literally says like, white people do not apply.
On the diversity application.
Yeah, on the diversity internship application, it says blatantly illegally, NASCAR bans white applicants from diversity internship. We are not an equal opportunity employer.
What they meant to say was, this job is only for people who identify as African American descent.
Man, I am identifying Black today as a Hispanic. I am going to join. Yeah, I
just like, out of how many there, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of people that work for NASCAR, right?
Right.
Especially in the front office.
Right.
Like, how do you miss that one detail? Like
the HR,
or this is not okay. Like,
the PR department doesn't check this.
Yeah, like, how does that? It's like, you can't post that to public and then realize that, oh, this was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, how does that slip through the cracks?
Again, I don't think it takes a public relations or HR degree to know that. I mean, maybe here's the deal. Maybe they thought with the whole repealing of the affirmative action stuff that it just didn't apply anymore. That you could just hire, you should just set the goals and limits that you want.
What I think is interesting. Is like, diversity is not just specific to one race, right? Like, it's the whole idea of diversity is it's all races involved.
Right.
Like, we're all human.
Right.
So I get that they're looking to diversify like their internal infrastructure, like their internal employees, so to speak, by bringing in interns and and people that can give them some insight and so forth on how to appeal to different demographics and different, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
however, there had to have been a better way that they could have approached the way they said it, right?
They probably could have
Again,
not
how did
said
that slip through the
anything.
cracks and they just blatantly say white people not apply? You know? Like,
They
They
probably
could
could
have
have not.
said we're specifically looking for people of color. But
right.
Yes,
Right. Like,
and they
that
and they
probably also
or
could have been
just
taken the wrong way too.
just let the
that could have
application
been.
go
Yeah.
through and pay an extra person or two to weed through the
I mean, it's like
it could have been
it,
an easy, like, it could, like, yeah, it still
this
looks
guy's
kind of
named
bad,
John. He's a white
but
guy.
you could have
This guy.
well, on your application you specify, you know,
Right.
so
Right.
they could have very easily,
Gone through. Yeah.
like,
No. And that's
yeah,
it. That's
weeded through
like it's like
the
speeding. If you
applicants
don't get caught,
that weren't
you're not. You know, you weren't breaking the law.
right. But now they
No,
just
I
blatantly
agree,
did it
Abe.
in
I
front of
agree.
everybody.
Only murder if they
Yeah.
find a body.
That's
What do you say?
right. Right. He said it's only murder if they find the body.
Right. Well, they basically took the body and put it on Main
Basically,
Street.
they threw the body on a spit and was like, "Woohoo! Look at us!"
I think that's jacked up though, honestly.
What, murdering people? Yeah.
No, it's only illegal if you get caught.
right.
Like their description, because if anybody else, and it would have been a different verbiage or word, whatever, you know, it would have went. So did they get pushback or feedback from people?
Yeah, I mean, some like some are saying that NASCAR's going woke. And like the Texas Republican governor is like telling people that they should do like a Bud Light style boycott for the racing league, you know, some things like that.
You already took Bud Light away from
right.
Like,
right now you're gonna take Bud White and NASCAR
like,
away, and yeah, no, there's gonna be some people, you know, some heads rolling. But yeah, no, that's.
Know. I think the people. I don't know how to word this without it sounding terrible. I think the people that are going to be more concerned about it are not probably the people that are watching NASCAR. Is that going to make sense? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, the demographic, that's upset is not going to be the ones that are going to be the NASCAR watchers or the buyers of merchandise, or, you know, the ones that, you know, yes, you're right. I mean, NASCAR has become so like just anticlimactic with all of their trying to make it something more than it is, that at one point I thought NASCAR was a decent sport. And now you go 100 laps and then you have a break. It's like you used to go 400 or 500 laps.
Well, it
was an endurance sport. Yeah, now you have like quarters, and you get points for running this many for winning this part of the race. Like, it's just you used to be able to tune in, watch a race. Anywhere you tuned in, you knew, okay, it's lap 325 of 400 laps. Blah 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 is in. You know, it used to be Jimmy.
The beginning.
You didn't have to watch the beginning.
The end.
Right.
The rest of it's just on the background.
You could jump in anytime. You could fall asleep. You could take a good nap while watching NASCAR and not miss anything. And now you have to know the rules and stuff. I'm too old
I
to
think
learn.
they definitely have tried to make it more interesting to some extent.
Yeah.
And they're doing some different stuff. I don't like what they did with like a spec chassis and blueprint. You know, all the spec engines, all that stuff. Like, you just took the driver's edge out of it. Not to get too deep into this, because anything with an engine, I'm at least interested. You know.
Right.
So to a certain degree, they took away the competitive edge with exception of tuning and the driver
Right.
being the two big
Yeah,
factors.
they all run the same car basically, except for they
Right.
tune the engine a certain way and stuff. Where it used to be like you had a Chevy, you had a Ford, you had a Toyota. Those Dodge guys
Different
were in the back,
chassis. Yeah.
and different things like that. And so it just there were so many different variables. It seemed like there was actual parity.
Yeah.
Now it
But
just seems
now,
like
hey, I guess we never know. Maybe this was a marketing scheme to
could be.
stir up some drama. I don't know.
I
Get
mean,
the
they do
attention back
say
on
in
NASCAR.
marketing,
I don't know.
no news is bad news.
Right.
So, did you guys see that Israel is going to have a partial laser defense by next year? They say in the next 2 years they're going to have a full laser defense.
Do you think that they don't already have, to some extent, laser defense? Like, there's weapons and different defenses that we have that's not made to the public. So them announcing, oh yeah,
Right.
in a year we're gonna have this, and in 2 years we're gonna have this. Like, come on, we know that you have it already.
Definitely, if they're announcing it, they probably
Yeah.
have a full spec laser defense that they're just now deciding that they have to tell somebody because it's going to come. Yeah, it's going to come out and blow something up very, very soon. Like Iran or something.
Yeah. There was a leak or something, and they're like, all right, we're going to go ahead and this is bound to get out to some extent. We're going to go ahead and make
this
it public.
way, once Iran is gone, they can be like, well, we warned you guys there was lasers. So, yeah.
I hope it's like cool colors and stuff.
I haven't seen anything about. Ooh, it looks purple.
Super
it's
random.
purple.
Yeah, is it going to be like lime green or?
Yeah, I think it's purple. I don't. Yeah, I think it's going to be like whatever the longest. So blue, probably the longest spectrum. So blue, purple, or something like that.
I never really thought about that, I guess.
Yeah, because those are going to be the most powerful spectrums of light. But yeah, they're saying right now that it'll be able to take down missiles. It'll be able to see things a lot faster. So it's already successfully test destroyed rockets. So yeah, they have a full on system. It's not just like a partial system, like they said. It's a full on. We're blowing crap up.
Like I said, it's not like they got a potato gun in a basement that they've been working on and they're just testing it out. Like,
one of those super
with
pointer pens that they sell for $100 that lights paper on fire.
They've got a sophisticated setup that they're testing in real world.
This looks pretty good. It actually has like advertising on the side and everything. OptiDefense.com on it.
Oh yeah.
So, it doesn't have the .com. It just has OptiDefense on it. But
Coca-Cola's going to chime in and say they want their logo on the side of it.
Right. We want to be with this. Surprised like you don't have like Tesla or something set up with it.
Right. Elon Musk chiming in.
Elon Musk is going to give out to his investors a free mini version of it, like he did the flamethrowers. While he was building the trucks.
Yeah.
So,
which reminds me, I don't know if you talked about it much in the last few weeks or whatever. What about all these pictures of trucks loaded up with the supposed trucks on them, and people saying that they're just like rough mock-ups, so they're not actually production trucks. To try to keep investors and so forth interested.
I heard a little bit about it, but I haven't really gone into the story. It hasn't hit my desk as a major headline, so everybody's trying to cover it up, obviously. But I could definitely see him a truck isn't an easy thing to build, and to make it an actual viable, like an electric engine that has the torque capacity of that isn't going to just like rip the doors off of the vehicle is going to be tough. So
Yeah, I mean, bringing any new model as a manufacturer to the market is going to be tough for sure. And obviously, he had some work to do on that bulletproof glass. You know,
right.
didn't work out so well.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably not as fully formed as the laser program from Israel, but you know, it's partially formed.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I definitely, again, no news is bad news for advertisers. So
Right.
whatever it is, it's definitely at least getting some more push into that. So you can now have a pre-bought truck for the next 6 years until they come out.
Right.
I mean, all those people that jumped on like first day, think about that. They haven't bought. They bought a truck like what 4 years ago that they haven't been able to drive or anything.
Well, I mean, I don't think they did. I mean, I know there was a bunch that like. I know there's a bunch of people that put in like large money into it, and like large investors put a lot of money into it. But yeah, a lot of people put deposits in to be on the list, you know, to have an option to buy them.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. You see that Disney unionized the visual effects workers. So Disney's going down soon. They're going to strike or something. Obviously, if they unionize, they're upset about something. So
money.
You know, well, that's the normal.
It's always money.
It's always money.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're in California, then it's that everything causes cancer.
That's true, and it's still money.
Yeah, it's still money.
The money causes cancer too, though. You got to stamp that on every dollar.
Yeah. I've always loved the California like cautions or warnings because it's like, what about the other 49 states? Like,
no, it doesn't cause
only in
cancer
California
in any other
this
states.
causes
Only
cancer?
in California, yes. It's something to deal with the sun and the way that they breathe their air. That's
the way the moon hits the ocean and everything else. Yeah.
Right.
You guys see that California is finally welcoming Sig Sauer to their state?
Oh, they are allowing Sig Sauer back?
Yes.
So they're going to sell, because I know that at one point they had said they weren't going to sell any cigs, right? They had banned all the company Sig, and I thought it was Sig and Remington, wasn't it?
I know it was Sig for sure, but I don't remember. There was another one I do remember, but I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not like Winchester. Because there's a whole long thing of Winchester and like the Winchester Widow and stuff. And if you're ever in San Francisco, go check out the Winchester house. Or no, is it San Francisco or San Jose? Yeah, San Francisco. Yeah.
That sounds
pretty
like
wild.
Hot lead.
It's pretty. It's
you see
pretty
the
wild.
Army's picking up the Sig Spear.
What's that?
Did you see the Army is going to go to the Sig Spear as their main assault rifle?
Huh.
I heard they were making some changes.
Did they get a Congress approved leader yet?
What's that?
Did the Army, Navy, or the Marines get a Congress approved leader yet?
No, I don't think so. Not to my knowledge.
No, they haven't. They're still running on a interim leader.
So interim, yeah.
Yeah, because Congress can vote for, inflation reduction, anti-inflation reduction acts and things of that nature, but they can't do their job and actually put a leader in our military systems.
Right.
Because we're probably not going to use the military anyway. we're just gonna send our dollars and our stuff to Ukraine.
We're just gonna ask everybody nicely now.
Right.
We won't be using the military. They're trying to get rid of Christians in the military, and they're going to have it so that their military is, strictly one way. But that might be for another time.
Not anymore.
I mean, we're about to the point where we don't even have to fight in the military anymore. We just send some drones, throw a couple grenades, get the laser system out, and you can't tell me that Israel. I guess you can. I mean, Israel's pretty inventive with that stuff.
You think they're further advanced technologically over the U.S.?
I think they've done a lot more over the last 3 years than we have.
Then again, I guess we're still waiting on our chips from China, so
because we decided not to drill oil or make chips ourselves because they could cause cancer in California.
It does take me back to the first subject, because it was something you touched on that said oil fields and so forth.
Yeah.
With that concern on that coalition or the whatever you want to call
it,
the alliance. That was the word I was looking for.
The axis of evil.
Coalition sounds like more evil though.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that new alliance and bringing in some other parties, as you were listing them, it makes you wonder the price of oil that we so rely on, and the value of our dollar. Them throwing that down or saying, "Hey, we're not going to go by the U.S. dollar any longer," or recognize it as the currency. It makes you wonder that whole aspect of it too. And will we be making some different, decisions here in the future to maybe rely on some other sources, maybe bring back the big pipeline project, or is that still off the table because we're all going to be electric in 2 years?
Can we bring back drill, baby, drill? Yeah, because I mean, this even says that the claim is that with these countries, 46% of the world's population is involved in these 5 or 6 or 8 countries at the moment, and 30% of the global economy. I mean, if you take that away from the dollar, that's substantial. That's like, okay, we've got to go let some people go. Let's get some congressmen out of there. Let's fire some judges. We got to get rid of some of these people because, I mean, that's 30% of the economy that's not going to be on the dollar. When you take a third of your market share away that you've basically built your brand on, you have to restructure.
But will they?
Not the way we're sitting right now.
Yeah.
I mean that not what I'm seeing. I mean, Mitch McConnell still can't talk half the time. I mean, he's just like
because he has brain damage.
I mean, look
at cut that portion.
who in Congress doesn't have brain damage? I mean, you got John Fetterman, you got Feinstein,
they're like late 70s. Who's the oldest? Is like 80 something. Wasn't there somebody that was like?
Is it only 80 something? Because I thought whatchamacallit, that California was the name Janet Feinstein or whatever her name is like 89 or something like that, 87 or 88.
Yeah, I thought it was early to mid 80s, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
He's had like what, 2 strokes too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that definitely messes with your brain.
Yeah, you'd think that there'd be some changes made, and say, hey, at some point, you gotta you gotta chill, buddy.
Yeah,
That's too much like
Feinstein
right.
is the longest serving female senator.
Who?
She is Feinstein from California. She is the oldest serving U.S. senator.
At the age of
She is old. I'm looking it up right now. I'm in the middle of it. She was born before any of us had ever, our parents had even been thought of. She was born in 1933.
Damn, she older than my grandma.
She is 90.
yeah, I was gonna say she's
90 years old as of June 22nd. We really just
yeah.
called her out, didn't we?
I'm sure you need to
Like,
be involved in major decisions, and not that somebody at 90 years old can't be of sound mind, but
That's true. Yeah.
to some extent, like, come on, like, you can't tell me that you still want to work when you're 90. I don't even want to work, and I'm only 36. Like, come on, you know?
this is a
Like,
different generation.
oh no, it's not. Come on. I mean, it is a different generation, but
Right.
come on, like you
Right.
gotta something's odd to still want to be working. Whether it's
Right.
I don't know what capacity she's still working, but 90 years old, come on.
I mean, you
She
Diminished.
be
you
Enjoy the
somewhere
you
last
doing
few
a
hope
years that you
puzzle.
got.
you hope
Yeah,
that she's still working. I mean, if you voted for her, I would think you would want her to be working just as hard as the
right,
38-year-olds or whatever.
right.
But you know,
I don't even want to be
um,
90. Like, I don't want to get
ever.
there.
This is by
I know it sounds
far
really bad, but I don't want to
the
get to 90.
the oldest Senate that we've ever had.
Well, yeah, they've been serving for 90 years.
Yeah,
It's like,
because Charles Grassley is only 3 months younger than Feinstein. Richard Shelby is 89 now. This is a 2-year-old story. So I have to set up where they're at. So yep, Feinstein's 90. Grassley is 89. James Inhofe is 86. Pat Leahy is 81. I mean, like, right there's over a handful of people who are over their 80s. Like, I'm all for, like, you got this, like, wisdom and things, like you said, but
hang it up.
if you
Just
literally can't, like, function on a normal basis, if you have issues functioning anytime, you probably should step back and allow someone younger, someone that this isn't physically harming, to take over.
right.
Is like,
That's the idea. You know.
like this is probably actually harming them more than it's helping the country. Like, I could see, we had a bombing and it took out 3/4 of the Congress, and you call in some people, like, actually, I really would rather you not call in any of these people, but but you call in somebody that has some wisdom of how this is supposed to run, and they become like a follow. But we haven't had a major bombing in the Capitol, and we haven't had like, there's only
I just
one
think it's
person
pretty
under
wild.
40 in
It's
the
just
Senate.
pretty wild that you would want to, like, how long have, like, they've been in,
That's the big thing.
how long have they been serving, in their role, or in the in a government role to begin with. So if somebody's, I mean, you got to think, okay, they got in there when they were in their 40s or whatever. They've been in that role for longer than most people spend on their jobs. Like, you can retire like
Right.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're saying this Robert Boyd is the oldest senator that has ever been a senator, and he was 92, and he died as a senator on his ninth ninth term as a senator. I mean, this guy's like, he's literally like, he had a job and then he became a senator and then he died as a senator, like
Retired and then became a senator.
Right. Yeah, it's like 37 years as a senator. I mean, you know, obviously they're in that time span, like the reason that there is nothing done is because there's no worry that you're going to get voted out. Unless you are terrible. And then if you're that terrible, if you live in California, it's cool. They'll still vote you in.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not like I'm an old soul myself, not 90-year-old soul. But I'm an old soul in the sense that like I grew up around older people and stuff. And so for me to, like, I don't want it to sound like I'm coming off against like listening to your elders and learning from your elders and that sort of thing. But also, like, you're 90 years old. There's a lot that's changed in 90 years. You've seen a lot, you've experienced a lot, and a lot has changed.
Right.
To some extent, you got to breathe some new air into it, even with a 50-year-old or 40-year-old or whatever, you know? They're a little,
right.
at least a little bit more in tune with what is more current, you know, versus,
right.
I mean, being 90 years old, you're close to, I mean, you've seen Depression era stuff. You've seen World War II. You see, I mean,
well, yeah.
You know what
at
I mean?
90, she was born in 33, so she's coming out of she's middle of the Great Depression. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, World War II.
She lived through World War II. She lived through Vietnam. She lived through you know what I mean? Like she's seen a lot of stuff.
And
how in tune is she with how things are in the last 20 years versus how they were the first 70 years of her life, you know?
Yeah.
And at the same.
Yeah, but if if you're trying to build your empire, why change something that isn't broken? Why try to fix something that isn't broken?
Well, yeah.
If you don't have your empire built by 70, like, I mean, come on.
I think where he's at is if you're building your empire, why have to train a new member of your empire?
I'm just saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, if you're George Soros and this person keeps getting elected, just keep them getting elected. Change the batteries and just allow her to keep on going. I mean,
like the Energizer.
I want her to live forever, but that's just me.
I mean, upload her soul into a new person. And go on.
She's got to hold off for another 2 years to.
That's what Ted Williams is doing, isn't he?
His brain is still on cryostasis. So one day when we have AI working heavily enough that he will be able to come back and hit 400 again.
Oh, jeez.
That's right. The man will hit 400 again. He will be the last and the next, Triple Crown winner.
I could love it.
Give it about 3-4 years. They'll pull his brain off of cryostasis and go for it. So you guys saw
but to those people, those dedicated civil servants that love, keeping our democracy afloat.
They
don't see the system as broken.
Cryostasis.
They don't see the system as broken.
It's all about perspective, right?
It is. If you're sitting in the Jello shot, you don't realize that the Jello shot is what's killing you.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting in a shop in little old Michigan.
Hey, why is Oprah and The Rock asking for money for Maui?
Because they broke.
Because their neighborhood burnt down.
Because they're natives. Well, not natives. They're residents of Maui.
They're residents. There's some of the Earth's wealthiest residents.
I mean, burned down.
I think
Oprah's worth $2.5 billion.
defeative.
Just because she's worth that doesn't mean that's what she has in her bank account.
I think I don't.
The Rock is worth
She's been
$800
given
million
away.
right now.
Everybody
Like,
gets a free car.
why are they asking Americans to donate money?
Because
That's what we do.
That's what they do.
we do as Americans. We come together and help those who are in need.
Which brings us back to why those people hate us so much and hate our dollar.
Yeah. At least it's in our country this time, you know.
Okay. At least we ain't sending money.
Yeah, exactly. So you should be excited
somebody.
about that and send your $30 to
each
The
month.
Rock was born in California.
$1.95 a day.
Beachfront property. That their homes weren't affected. That's the funny thing, is Oprah's home wasn't affected by these fires.
Are they even on the same island?
Yeah, they're there. No, her house is not been affected. It's weird, but her house was not affected. That
neither was The Rock, and neither was any of the celebrities that were over there.
She's just being a humanitarian. Ain't that what they call the people that help people?
Yeah.
Or is that a philanthropist?
They either call those people humanitarians or they call them terrorists because they're hiding behind the help.
Depends on who you ask, right?
Depends on which side and the what you're looking at.
Geez.
On even sadder news, did you see Bob Barker died?
Oh my Lord!
I mean, pour one out for the homies.
How would you miss that?
He literally died last year.
Been all over social media.
He got as close to 100 without going over.
That's what everybody said. In Price is Right rules, is he the winner?
He's the winner in Price is Right rules.
Died 3 times.
I swore he died 6 months ago.
He died last year, and then he died 3 years ago in 2019.
Just like Feinstein.
He's died 3 times.
Our 90-year-old senators.
Hey. I wouldn't have minded Bob Barker as being, our
you put him in cryostasis.
We done lost some legends this year, man.
Making things go.
That's what happens though. Legends become old, and old, runs out.
We lost TT. Gotta bring Tina Turner.
That's right. We need to find some happier news here.
Yeah, all this.
The World Gravy Wrestling Championship is coming back.
The who?
The World Gravy Wrestling Championship.
People wrestling in gravy?
That's right. 2,000 liters of gravy.
Who's the sponsor for this?
Rose and Bowl Pub in Rosedale, Lancashire, United Kingdom.
Do they put instant mashed potatoes in the pit?
Nope, just gravy and more gravy.
I think they need to bring the artist Young Gravy in for
that would be the best. This is Young Gravy at the World Gravy Wrestling Championship.
The first time I'll show my age
T-Bone. Young Gravy and T-Bone.
One of my buddies, T-Bone, yeah. One of my buddies said something.
Meatloaf.
One of his kids was listening to some music or whatever, and I was like, "What is this?" This was years ago. Yeah. And I was like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Young Gravy." And I was like, "Oh, hold on, Young Gravy is his name?" And I thought, I was like, this has got to be the dumbest person ever to, I don't know. But the more I see from him, the more he grows on me, just because I think he's funny. He's just a goon. That's why I think it'd be funny if he did the.
Yeah, that would be great. They're raising money for East Lancashire Hospice. But the wrestlers can also raise money for their own charities. So the whole event is raising money for this hospice setup, which is funny because they're the only ones that eat gravy, right? It's an old school thing. You don't eat gravy anymore. Now it's just a sauce. Yeah.
You ate gravy before?
I mean, I've drank gravy before. I mean, gravy runs through my blood.
I tried to do that once. It was not good.
Yeah, it's good.
I That was egged on as dumb stuff. I was egged on to chug like I don't know cold gravy from KFC. It was really terrible.
I used to like microwave that stuff on biscuits. It was good. So do you see
So
that
anyways.
they're building an $800 million city that you're not allowed to go to because you're not ultra wealthy, and it's going to be in Silicon Valley, right outside of the Bay Area.
That seems
And then
pretty
in
cool.
California?
Yep. Nah, San
Seems pretty
Francisco.
cool. Like let's keep all the crazies there, you know?
This might just work.
Hold on. They're
might be
building
better.
a $800 million city in a
Yep.
city that has the in a state that has the number one homeless problem issue there.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why it's only $800 million. It's not like $5 billion like Dubai or you know, those guys.
Hey, it's modest.
Interesting.
It's a modest city for the ultra wealthy.
So what do you mean we're not allowed to go there? Like,
well, it's
they're
for
gonna have walls?
it's for the ultra wealthy Silicon Valley investing group.
Yeah, but like they're gonna have walls.
Well, they're buying thousands of acres of farmland so that you know, they can build up this new city from the ground up, so that it can have the best of electricity and from coal burning plants, obviously. But
So the rest of the state still has to do its you know, roving blackouts and everything else, and
right. They won't have those roving blackouts, and they will also have fiber optic internet, just like South Korea.
oh man, they're gonna have walls.
Probably. and
It's gonna be
probably
gated.
some lasers.
Walls and gates and lasers.
Lasers, definitely lasers.
Mini-me,
get off of the laser.
This just like reminds me of like an apocalypse style, like preparing. That's got to be what it is.
It is.
Realistically, it's
This
like all
is
the
rich
elitists
people,
are like,
rich
hey,
people prepping.
We're gonna invest in our future. Yeah, instead of us just putting a bunker in our backyard, we're gonna build a whole city and we're gonna buy our way into the city. Huh?
This is like glamping, except for prepping. So it's like glimping. It's glepping. It's glepping.
It's just like glamping. This is really expensive glamping.
this is rich people prepping. It's ripping. We'll have to work on this. We'll have to work on this.
We'll have the phrase coined. Phrase by next week.
We'll get a T-shirt put out so that you can purchase a rich people prepping T-shirt. But you know, it's you know, my other house is a rich person prepped house, you know, type shirt.
It's like grepping. Yeah. There you go.
It's grepping.
Like grepping. Like
that doesn't sound exciting, like
prepping.
Glamping sounds glamorous and everything, so it'll have to be something like that. I mean, it'd be like ultra rich preparations.
That sounds like a medication for rich people.
I mean, it kind of is. It'll be you know, elitism or something. You know, we'll work on it. It's still a work in progress, obviously.
All right.
You know.
All right. Well, that's our homework.
Yeah, definitely, that's the homework. You see, Subway sold to a private equity firm that also owns Subway. That also owns Dunkin' Donuts and Arby's. That's a powerhouse right there. Dunkin' Donuts, Arby's, and Subway.
So,
taking over the world.
Here's my question.
Probably now owns more of the economy than the BRICS guys.
Here's my questions though, because this one sticks out to me. So who has the meats now? Like, if Arby's and Subway.
Did you see though? They just put out commercials that they're now slicing the meat at Subway in the stores.
Oh, like, so it's Arby's.
This is an actual. I know. This is an actual announcement though. This is like, guys, It's Subway. We actually slice the meats in the stores now. Like,
What did they do before?
You're a sub. They bought it sliced. Someone in
like prepackaged stuff that they probably had.
Someone in Mexico
from,
was slicing it up for you and sending it to everybody in a bag.
Got you.
It was like 1 or 2 guys in Mexico just slicing it all up.
Oh, stop.
Just 2. There was only 2 guys because they could pay him $14 a day, and but they're great at doing it. So they could probably run like 14 million stores. Those guys now lost their jobs. You guys should all be ashamed of yourselves because now they're slicing it in store.
I am ashamed.
Ashamed that those 2 Mexicans lost their jobs.
So, is it Eat Fresher now?
Eat Fresher.
I guess
we're really getting into this. This
preservatives.
is yes. They
I've been up since 5 a.m. this morning, and that's not my usual,
good.
So I'm getting a little loopy,
Yeah, I like it.
I got out of the routine of getting up, that early. So today I might be a little loopy. But I think Eat Fresher is a really good
Eat Fresher is definitely going on the different suggestions that we give them. We send out suggestions to different companies all the time of new slogans.
Eat Fresher. So if you guys ever need any kind of slogan or coining or anything like that, branding, we got you. Just contact our
send it to Why I'm Angry Podcast at Gmail, and we'll get it right in. We'll think it up for you and get you set up.
Branding at its finest.
That's right. So I got it. It's ultra elite stockpiling. On that note, did you see that health officials warn against cuddling your pet turtle?
Don't look too impressed with that one. I think you got to go back to the drawing board.
All right.
I didn't think nobody.
Is he serious right now? Like I don't want to call him out live, but is he serious right now?
Call me straight out. I mean,
let's tell you that look like.
All right. It's a work in progress, like I said. So, did you see that health officials warn against cuddling your pet turtles? Don't do it.
What?
Yeah.
First of all,
don't
why
cuddle
would you have
your
a
pet turtle.
The amount of money
that
was probably spent on this is probably disturbing.
Well, what's sad about it is
people.
I actually heard about it last year, and now it's become a public health outbreak.
Advisory?
Yes, it's a full-on advisory. They're like, because it's a salmonella outbreak. This is an outbreak in 11 states because people are cuddling their turtles.
First of all, I thought only
least
kids have turtles as pets.
At least 26 people in 11 states so far have gotten salmonella from cuddling their turtles. Friends, loved ones, please, this is an advisory to stop cuddling your turtles.
Hold on, but the turtle is hard. So how are they cuddling it?
Not.
Don't ask questions.
You've never
that you don't want the answer to.
Yeah, never mind.
They say, do not kiss
first
or
off,
cuddle
who's cuddling
your
turtle. I don't understand that. I get it. It's a pet, but
this is a multi-state outbreak, people.
Multi-state being California.
11 states.
New York.
Let's see.
Jersey, maybe. I feel like that would be a New Jersey thing.
They haven't said exact. Okay, here it is. Crossed 11 states. There's a link. The map is New York, California, like you said. They have New York and Pennsylvania have the most, with 3 to 4 people have been salmonellized by cuddling turtles. That's a new phrase that I just coined. Tennessee is the top with 5 to 6 salmonella.
Where's Florida?
People. Florida has no people salmonellized because they don't report being caught. They don't realize that they've even gotten salmonella from the turtles. They think they've gotten salmonella from eating alligators or Jack in the Box or something as, Subway. Ohio has 2 people sick from cuddling turtles. Kentucky has 1. I'm just going to go through it. Illinois has 2. Missouri has 1. Georgia has 2 people. North Carolina has 2. Virginia has 2. None of those other states care. California has 1 person in the whole state, like the largest state. Yep, largest state that has cuddling turtle issues has only 1. Again, they probably don't realize that they got salmonella from cuddling their turtles. They probably think they got it from the taco truck, San Jose's, but they really got it from cuddling their turtles.
So the turtles are using this more as like a spread offense type thing.
And not any of these other states.
Nobody in these other
We're
states.
Finally not on a list that we don't want to be on.
Michigan is not a turtle cuddling state.
It's too cold there.
They don't love their turtles there.
No, we're not cuddling turtles
They
here.
do not love their turtles. You should be ashamed of yourself, Michigan.
Yeah, I know. We cuddle like normal things, like dogs.
Yeah. It's an outbreak. There's also an outbreak of raw cookie dough.
That's not shocking.
And ground beef. Flour. Poultry.
Doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Don't get on the CDC website. You will be afraid of everything.
If this came from the CDC website, I don't trust it.
Yeah, health officials.
They're the same people who tell me I'm not supposed to rinse my chicken before I cook it.
If you get diarrhea, if you get fever, stomach cramps, it's probably because you cuddled
the CDC would never lie to you.
Never.
They lie all the time.
They're not lying to you.
The
CDC loves you.
No, they love you.
They don't love me.
I think you're against the CDC, and in turn, you could be racist.
Anybody who tells me that I should not rinse my chicken before I cook
I haven't done that yet. That's on my bucket list.
Well, we only have problems if the CDC releases them. So I only see a problem if you're not cuddling your turtle, or if you are cuddling your turtle, apparently.
If you cuddle your turtle that has been given to you by the CDC, probably run in fear. They are probably giving you the turtle. Is there a vaccine for turtle cuddles?
I want to know how they.
Not yet.
I want to know how they got back to the point to where they got it from the turtle, and it was from cuddling the turtle.
Well,
and who openly admits that they cuddled their turtle, and that's what they got the salmon? Like, I didn't eat some bad chicken or something. Or like,
I can't. I would yeah. It's sad when it's easier to admit that you ate raw chicken than I cuddled my turtle. It's just.
I mean, it seems like a no-brainer. I'd probably just say I had some bad chicken or bad food.
I ate some bad tofu. I ate gas station sushi. Something.
It has to be like it's just a weird world we live in nowadays. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the people that openly admitted the case, or like that. I don't even know how you get to this point to where you say, they narrowed it down to, do you have a turtle at home?
Oh,
do you cuddle your turtle? That's probably where you got it from.
Do you cuddle your turtle? Do you cuddle your turtle?
Yeah. And who was the master doctor, the head doctor that was like, it's probably, I know where they got it from. You know what the common denominator is? Cuddled your turtle.
You kissed or cuddled your turtle.
Yeah.
It's Dr. House. It's definitely Dr. House that's done this. He's the only one.
Probably. Or Dr.
The only
Phil.
one that could have figured this out. Maybe now you've got it. It's Dr. Phil. Have you cuddled your turtle lately?
Imagine going to therapy for that. I can't stop touching my turtle.
You shouldn't do it.
I have an addiction. I cannot stop cuddling my turtle.
Well, I'm here to tell you
that
today,
a euphemism
you
for
have
anything?
people in your life that care about you and your well-being. You shouldn't do it, Rodney. Or whatever.
Honest Dave has been at home too much lately. He's now watching Dr. Phil.
No, I haven't watched Dr. Phil. I might have to click into that tomorrow.
Don't waste your time.
Some mopo.
Is he still telling people not to do it? You shouldn't do it.
You should not
Catch me
be
outside.
doing this. Catch me outside. Listen, Linda, you are a 45-year-old woman. You should not be cuddling your turtles or tortoises. Tortoises
But
are
I have
safer
35 turtles at home that
because
need
they
love.
do not have the salmonella virus on them.
Tortai.
Do we know? I don't know how deep they went into this whole thing. I'm curious too. Is there a difference? Did they do a report on how many females versus how many males?
No, it was
Not
literally
turtles.
just
I'm talking about the people that cuddled their turtles.
Oh no! No, it didn't. It's only 26 people. It's literally 26 people, so it's not really like even that many people. But no, they just
I'd like
basically
to see ages and sex. Like
we'll work on that for next week.
Yeah,
this is definitely Turtle
more
Watch.
homework.
Turtle
More
Watch.
homework. Yeah.
2023.
I feel like we've done something like this before, where we followed a epidemic where
we did follow the
squirrels
epidemic of
attacking
squirrel
people
attacks. Yeah. I have kept an eye on that to make sure they have not cropped back up. I did find one that we reported on from Louisiana where the guy was almost maimed, but that has literally been the last attack that I've seen on the radar since that was in 2022. So we're almost a full year out without a massive squirrel attack. It seems like our push, our campaign, I'm going to take full credit with the podcast that we got the information out in a timely fashion to end the epidemic of squirrel attacks. We got the squirrel eradication groups out there to fight the squirrels on the squirrel front. And, we're claiming victory on the war on squirrels.
it's all about awareness.
It's about awareness. It's about getting out and protesting. The water cannons, the long range squirrel attacks have gotten less and less. So yeah, I think we single-handedly got the word out to the people that needed to hear it. I'm feeling good about this. So this really segues great into this next story that I've got. A man with 3 parrots is wanted for robbery in Fairfax County.
Did the parrots tell on him?
The parrots were part of the robbery, it seems like. Detectives say that they are on the lookout for a man with 3 parrots. He was last seen wearing black cowboy hat. The man is accused of robbing a McDonald's restaurant located in Seven Corners area of Fairfax County. The department says that the robbery took place at knife point around 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. Who robs a McDonald's at breakfast?
He wanted those sausage McMuffins quicker.
He got away with an undisclosed amount of money in a Ford SUV. Oh my goodness, this guy's shirt is amazing. He's got like Canadian flag on his shirt. He's got 3 parrots on him. Like literally robbed a McDonald's in the store at knife point with 3 parrots.
Turtles.
One's on his hat. I almost said turtles because we've been pushing the turtle word.
Turtle.
Parrots. 2 on his shoulders, 1 on his hat. The man robbed the place with a knife. Should have used a parrot. That guy that used an alligator got away.
Why would you rob a McDonald's?
Because you
At
need
breakfast.
the money.
That's what I'm saying. How at 8 a.m. in the morning? Why do you need the money? I could see if it was
But
like
I could
9:30 and this was the last
I
chance
could think
of the
of a few
day.
other places that would probably be more lucrative and less busy than
Would have more money and
McDonald's.
less.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, because you're obviously not getting away. Either way, you're not going to get away with it unless you. I mean, did he even cover his face in the robbery? I mean, not that it would help
he
if
had
you
a
had three.
giant cowboy hat on. Like, they don't have a picture of his actual. Like, he's got a mustache and a beard, and that's all you can see. He kind of looks
He's
like
still at large.
Kind of, yeah. He's still at large. If you have
wow.
any information, you can call the sheriff's department there in Fairfax
Well, then I
County.
sit corrected. Maybe the cowboy hat.
Yeah, I mean, he
the
got
parrots were a great disguise.
Yeah.
Now they're looking. Now they're looking for a guy with a cowboy hat and 3 parrots, and they're only finding a guy with a baseball hat and 3 parrots.
Right. Baseball hat, or a guy that's not wearing a maple leaf, black and red and white maple leaf shirt with some khaki pants, shorts.
That's pretty wild.
He robbed them with flip flops on. The worst footwear to
Yeah,
rob, like clip clop, flip flops.
Where'd you say this was at again?
Fairfax County, in Florida, in Virginia. Virginia. It's a Virginia man.
Virginia man.
Yeah.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Lady D.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have. I think we're winding down. Lady D, you got a story still?
Yeah, my story's sad. I don't want to talk about my story. I don't want to end on a sad note.
All right. You want to talk about the 36-foot totem pole that was stolen?
The who?
From Canada?
What is that?
There was a 36-foot totem pole that was stolen from Canada. It's been sitting in an Irish museum for the last 30 years. It is now being returned to Canada.
Why?
Why was it stolen, or why is it being returned?
Both.
The 36-foot one-tone totem pole will be returned to the Nisga'a Nation, one of the indigenous groups that is now known as British Columbia, on the west coast of Canada. It's a feel-good story. They're getting their 36-foot totem pole back.
So somebody stole it, and then
so researchers say
it was stolen before.
It was stolen,
and that's how it ended up in the Irish museum.
Yes, it was stolen without consent while the locals were away from their village for their annual hunting season. Yeah.
Now it's being returned.
Some 30-some years later to the village.
They finally found it. That's a pretty good feel-good story. I mean,
I would think they kind of knew where it was at. Maybe there's been a rift between, Ireland and Canada for this many years. Maybe they had, maybe it got caught up in the court system. Just last year, it was finally agreed that it would be returned. It was carved in 1855.
There's got to be more to it.
This
in the
totem
sense
pole.
Of, who just came in and stole it and then took it to Ireland? I mean, that's a pretty big piece to smuggle to Ireland.
Yeah, the museum says it believes it acted in good faith, but now understands that the individual who sold it to the Barbo Museum did so without the cultural, spiritual, or political authority to do so on behalf of the tribe.
You don't say.
But it has been in the museum for how long?
Basically, since it was stolen 30-some years ago. It's been almost 100 years ago. It arrived in Scotland in 1929. It's been in the museum for 30-some years.
That don't even sound right. You mean to tell me that a artifact been sitting in the same spot basically for 100 years or so?
Yep.
And we just now figured out that it was stolen and we didn't have permission to take it?
Well, you said
I
it
think
was
it got
taken to
caught up in
Scotland, and then
the courts.
it's only been in the museum for 30 years or 30-some
Oh.
years.
Yeah,
But still,
it's pretty ginormous. Like, it's pretty big.
you don't notice that's something that's missing?
I mean, I'm pretty
How
sure
do you
they
even
Grow
report it
legs,
on the
walk
video?
out.
It's a 3-story totem pole. I mean, this isn't like.
Oh, it's not.
And
But it's also, you got to remember the era that it was stolen in too. Is not exactly like they could just text their buddy overseas and say, hey,
Right.
I mean, there
and
was
especially
still
like it's an indigenous people group,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that they didn't know where it went.
You said it's been in Europe
It's been in Europe. It's been in Europe
29.
since 1929.
So yeah.
I'm sure it's not
that's a
like
long
it's been
time.
found over the last like 30, 40 years. Like they've just like, oh, we know, and then they were like, no, it's ours, and they're like, no, they didn't. It was illegal, whatever. So, and then some old senators just didn't die so that new people could say, hey, this is not good.
Really? Didn't die?
Yep, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it. We can't
Didn't die, didn't retire, all the same, right?
We can't get term limits, so we just gotta wait for them to die. It's a sad thing.
It is.
It's a sad thing when the American people are just waiting for you to die.
Can you do us a favor?
Could you just help a brother out and let him die? That's terrible. Like, we can't end it on that. We got to find something else to end it on now.
Pretty rough.
What we can end it on is this.
Okay.
The Alabama Crimson Tide
are going to lose this week. Going to lose to Appalachian State.
And
who they playing?
You know what?
Who they playing? Is it Appalachian State?
No, Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah, Middle Tennessee. Basically the same thing. Appalachian State, Middle Tennessee.
On other great news, Michigan is going to trample all over Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
No, they're just going to crumble.
Crush them. Crush them between the mighty legs of all those guys.
Edwards and
yeah.
What's his name?
That's the one I just
Corum.
On.
Blake Corum.
Yeah, Blake Corum.
I'm excited though. This is my favorite season.
This is it is college football. I almost got the fight song on here and played it also instead of.
Please don't play that.
Instead of the.
Ooh, y'all woke up this morning.
Yeah. So yeah. That's a good ending. That's good. What did you learn? You guys learn anything?
We broke.
We broke.
Our money ain't worth nothing.
We gonna be way broke soon.
We're gonna be real broke.
Yeah, that's on that sad news. I think. Remember, if you've heard this, you listened all the way to this point, you are a marathon podcast listener. That's amazing. We appreciate that.
Or you're driving on a long drive.
Or you're on a long drive. That's true. We appreciate you watching, listening to us. You can watch us on our different channels. We are now live on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Also on our website at whyimangry.com. And you can get our podcast at any of the podcasting sites that you normally do. If you're listening to this, obviously you found us somewhere. So with that, love you guys.
Remember to follow, like, and share the Why I'm Angry podcast across all social media platforms and anywhere you get your podcasts. The Why I'm Angry podcast ends now.